If you've been noticing something lately, I've been uploading a lot of SnapMap content, a lot more than I thought, to be honest, but I thought about making a video just to give you my reasons of why I make maps in SnapMap, and it's not the obvious one too, like I enjoy map making or I enjoy making my own content. There's more to it, and there will be stuff related to the single player portion of Doom 2016. So sit back and enjoy the video, and the gameplay video is a continuation from my last Doom commentary. I really enjoyed this Doom's campaign. If you watched my review video, my opinion hasn't changed much. I didn't mention much about the AI, but the AI is definitely better than previous Doom games. You can literally just play the same fight, and you're gonna get some sort of variation with how the fight goes. I still think it's the best portion of this game, and it does a lot of things right, but there are things that bothers me with the campaign. I don't like how the Super Shotgun is pretty trash compared to the previous games. The combat doesn't seem to satisfy me enough, and I'll eventually explain what I mean about that. The Pinky / Spectre are annoying to fight because, for whatever reason, their face is like made of iron or something. And with SnapMap, I can rectify those issues real easily. The Super Shotgun in SnapMap is pretty much a proper spiritual successor to Doom 2's Super Shotgun. It's so much fun to use, and it's actually a lot more consistent than the Super Shotgun in campaign. The Pinkies and Spectres are like the classic variants, and it just feels right in that situation. Also, since SnapMap is a map editor, I have the ability to create the maps to make sure the combat will satisfy me. Doom's campaign kind of left me wanting more firefights as I played the levels, but the levels that I make, whether it's my own or remakes, I make sure the combat is exhilarating and satisfying enough as you play from start to the end of the level. The second reason I like to make maps is, of course, the remakes. I really love classic Doom. I just find it fun to figure out that right balance between making these remakes familiar to the classics, but also try to make them work with Doom 2016's mechanics. Since Doom 2016 is not exactly the same like classic Doom, it's kind of like it makes these classic levels feel refreshing to play. The remade maps I make are basically a mixture of nostalgia, but it's a new experience at the same time. I really loved what I did with my Courtyard remake, and it's definitely a map where it follows that design philosophy very well, and I highly recommend you guys to play it if you have not, because that was my hardest map I ever worked on. The third reason is basically there's so much interest in SnapMap to me. The fact that it has single player is huge. I did enjoy making maps for fun and messing around on Forge, but it was only multiplayer, and that kind of sucks because you need people to play, and I never had that right amount of people to play. But the fact that SnapMap has single player, multiplayer, and co-op is so game-changing compared to Halo's Forge. I used to play around with Doom Builder a bit, but I wasn't too serious with making maps because I felt like the work I would put into these maps, people aren't going to play them because I don't have that sense of communication to the public like SnapMap allows you to publish a map, and it's public for everyone. You can host games and play in a public match or invite friends. There's a lot of ways for you to get people to play your map. Not only that, most people who enjoy user-generated content in classic Doom generally are more in favor with like the megawads and all of that. So that was another reason that killed my desire to use Doom Builder. I also like how there's going to be title updates, and it seems like these updates are going to be fairly substantial, and I just want to see how that's going to push people's. With that said, I gotta mention about remakes again. Remakes were the first thing I wanted to do with SnapMap. I don't think I need to explain any more about my thoughts on remakes in SnapMap because I already explained that. This will be my last reason, and the fourth reason is a simple reason. It's really how the entire experience feels when you use SnapMap. It's fun to use, play, and learn. I have played maps that I enjoy from other people, but sometimes I get inspired, like the player blocking volume based map really inspired me to play around with that technique more. I'm also impressed with what people can do with SnapMap. Like, I thought the E3M2 remake by Bloodshot was an interesting remake in how it's primarily used by Hellpropt and how he used them. There's so much to learn in SnapMap, whether it's combining certain objects with another one to create another object for your maps, or discover exploits and taking advantage of them, like the whole player blocking volume based maps, where I believe that's probably going to be the future for SnapMap. I just have a feeling id and Escalation are going to implement something to make player blocking volume based maps even more interesting than the preset pieces. Like I said in my last commentary video, SnapMap has been better so far, and we'll see where it's going to go in the next month.